Welcome to another episode of the Creators Outlet, episode 138, sponsored by our friends over at the Inked marketing team. These days, marketing is more global, plus consumers are more enlightened and empowered than ever. Companies and creators have to adapt and navigate a large digital terrain. This can become time-consuming and confusing at the least. Inked provides that competitive edge for several creators through a strategic process that will improve your brand position in the market and build bridges to larger audiences. Inked Marketing is headquartered in the Tri-City areas of Washington State, supporting both U.S. and international clients. Visit www.inked.marketing. That's www.inked.marketing. Check out their services and then head over to the Contact Us page and check the box for a solutions guide and see what solution they can provide for you. Come to the firm that's built by creators for creators and tell them we sent you. And now we'd like to welcome Mark Middleton from Grave Robbers. Dude, welcome.
How's it going, man? Thank you.
It's going good. How did the campaign go for you?
It's gone pretty well, actually. You know, we met our goal, and you know, we're about 2,000 over where we, set it. So you know, it's done pretty good. You know, we're still in demand, and we're still slowly building it up, and pounding out a couple of stretch goals. So yeah, cool. It's been pretty awesome.
Hey, it's always good when you get to close out a campaign and you're over goal.
Yes, absolutely, yes. Man. Absolutely.
So let's pull this up and take a look. Whoa, 148 backers.
Nice. Yeah, we've gotten a decent amount of people that are pretty excited about the campaign. I'm so grateful for the amount of attention and the amount of enthusiasm I've got from people who have backed the book, and it's just, I don't know. This is my first book that I've ever done, and I'm just overwhelmed by the amount of people who have come out and shown support for it. It's awesome.
Oh, that's great, man. I noticed that. I'm like, one campaign. Wow, you did pretty damn good for your first campaign.
Yeah, I'm really proud of it. I've seen a lot of guys that have come out and they've tried to put up some pretty big numbers and stuff like that. And when I put up 5,000, I was a little, overly optimistic, I think. I'm such a new guy, but it ended up, in the last couple of days of the campaign, we saw a pretty big surge of attention and, a lot of backers. And we were over by, I think, a few $100s when we finally closed out that night. It was amazing to see. Like I said, I'm just overwhelmed by the amount of support and attention that's gotten. So,
oh, that's great.
Couldn't be more grateful.
Bullets, Blood, and Booze. The Grave Robbers stalk a killer in this horror Western epic. Man, I'm so glad some indie creators are doing anything with Westerns.
Yeah, so, I've actually seen a couple of them start to pop up now. You've got Dusty Tortillas, and you've got Jack Irons, I think is one of them.
Oh yeah. I interviewed Jack before, way back when, before I got the camera and stuff. So I actually had to type shit out. That was a nuisance. You know what it's like trying to write? Oh yeah, you do know what it's like trying to write stuff. But I've been trying to get him to come back, like, since I've been doing the podcast. And he's like, oh, I really don't have the equipment, and busy with real life and work and stuff to come back and forth. But I mean, he said, because I'm the content delivery manager for Outright Geekery too. So he had sent us a review copy for it, and I was like, wow, this is fantastic. I
Yeah,
loved
it's a
it,
great book.
you know. And I know he was working on building a whole Iron Verse and everything. So I'm like, cool, because there's only been like one good Western read out of the mainstream in like the last 30 years, and that was Justin Gray's run on Hex.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a lot better in the beginning. It was a lot like dirtier and grittier. And
Right.
then they, they're like, well, can we have him stick up for social justice? I'm like, oh no.
Well, that's
They're like,
the
what
thing.
happened to Hex? I don't know. Somebody snipped him while he was sleeping. He lost his. I'm like, oh, terrible.
That's the thing. That's the thing with the big two now. They're obsessed with it.
Oh my god! I saw a piece today. Emily, I can't remember her last name. The
Emilia
actress
Clarke?
Emilia Clarke. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I think I saw this too.
That uber cringe Marvel comic.
Yeah, where her powers come about once a month.
Her powers are her period, and then
Yeah.
and then she gets in a big tirade argument and goes like all uber woke, and we have to change this. This is a guy's only thing. No, it's not.
Yeah,
like, that whole thing pisses me off. I'm like, really? Come on.
I don't know where this idea comes from. I've heard this over and over and over the past couple of years. Probably the past 4 or 5 years now, maybe even a little longer.
Yeah,
but it's just crazy to think about comic books, science fiction, fantasy, any of these things really being like a boys' club or something like that. I mean, it's been, just thinking about the original founding members of the Wasp or the Avengers. You have the Wasp,
Mhm.
and it's I don't think there's really been a superhero team in comic books that hasn't included at least one or multiple women. You've had a couple probably, obviously, but like even when you look at like Heroes for Hire in the 70s, with like Roy Thomas and that whole thing with Iron Fist, Luke Cage, you had Misty Knight. You had multiple female characters, multiple female characters in that story, and they were done really well, and you go into movies, even going into movies, you got Sigourney Weaver, who has been an icon since Aliens, or just Alien, I guess. But yeah, Barbarella. I mean, there's so many that have been around for decades. It's hard to believe that in the year that we live in, there would be anyone that could honestly and seriously, with a straight face, stand up and say women aren't represented in science fiction, fantasy, and comic books. It's like, what the hell are you talking about?
Makes me wish I could send this guy on the screen to California and clean house.
Oh yeah, and he would too, man. That dude doesn't take any shit. He doesn't play around. He is probably one of my more favorite characters that I've created. This is Richard, drawn by Sim Poitier. I don't know if I pronounced his name correctly. I might get some guff from him at some point from saying it like that. But yeah, no, it's he's a pretty cool character. He's one of the bad guys in the story. He's going to be one of the main antagonists. So we're going to see a lot of him. Yeah, he's going to be pretty cool. I think people are going to like him. He's 511 years old, I think. I'd have to go back and check, but yeah, you can take my word for it. 511 years old. He was a former crusader who gave up his vow after King Louis XIV betrayed him and the rest of the Knights Templar. And when he fled to, I think Lithuania is what I wrote. He flees to Lithuania because it was still pagan back in those years. I think it was like 12, 13, 14 is what it was. So he goes out there to avoid the church, to go into hiding, and that's where he encounters an entity, and that'll be more elaborated, on in the book. But yeah, it's he's a pretty cool character. I think people are gonna really dig him. I put a lot of work into his his personality, his character background. I have probably 10 or 15 pages written on this character alone, just in backstory.
I think we can figure out his personality from this one shot that's in.
Yeah, he's not a nice guy by any stretch of the imagination.
When you see him cross the street, walk on the other side, and look down.
Yeah. More probably just turn around and run would probably be the better choice of options. But yeah, he's a badass. I'm very proud of this character. I think people are gonna like him. Also, this is a trading card that will come with every book. Oh, cool. So if you back the book, if you back 2 books, like the 2-book tier, you'll get 2 trading cards. If you buy the store tier, which comes with 5 books, you get 5 trading cards. Nice. So yeah.
It's funny. Ever since the original Marvel card set blew up about 6 to 8 months ago, trading cards are a thing again.
I love it. I remember being a kid and trying to get all those Topps cards and stuff like that. I was a kid. I was probably a 5 or 6 around 1992, 1993, and that's when like a lot of the cards started like getting bigger and bigger and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I remember going to comic book shops and just, I'd have $5 that I'd work my ass off for, doing chores and stuff like that. And I'd buy as many as I could grab, and they wouldn't, take away from me because I didn't have enough money. I'd take home.
I've still got a ton of card sets. I sold that set with the, I had 4 out of the 5, I never got the Spider-Man versus Hobgoblin hologram, but I had the other 4. So I sold those 4 holograms along with the card set to one guy. Put it up for auction in a room, and I ended up getting like $90.
Right on.
And I was like, he goes, well, some of those are worth a lot of money. I go, dude, they've been sitting in storage for like, 20 some years. I go, and now I can open up that book and I can look at the McFarlane Wolverine set.
Oh wow!
So I'm like, ooh,
that's pretty awesome. Yeah,
I get the McFarlane Spider-Man set in there, and a couple others. I have like 2 or 3 sets of Olivia cards.
Okay.
And I think we know why. And some fantasy art cards, and
right.
I got a big set of like rock and roll cards because they thought it was going to be a big thing, and it was like, it was cool because it was the 90s and it was all hairband stuff.
Yeah, I remember that vaguely. I remember seeing a lot of New Kids on the Block cards. I remember those were untouched.
I did not buy any of those.
Yeah, I remember those being in abundance and everything else being totally sold out.
Those boxes sealed right now, you could probably put them up on like Facebook Marketplace and get $50 a piece for them.
I'm not surprised.
Because all the little girls that were screaming at their concerts back in the 90s are now grown with their own kids and possibly grandkids on the way.
Yeah. And
have some money. So
there you go, man. That's buy low, sell high, right?
Exactly.
But, yeah, no, I have an entire collection of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cards. I picked those up at a flea market one year, a couple of years back. I couldn't believe like they had almost all of them, and I it was dirt cheap. I only picked them up for I think like $20 or $30, and there were tons of them. I was pretty excited about that.
I never got into I never get into the Turtles, really.
Oh man, I love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, man.
I remember, and I don't live far from where Eastman and Laird had their studio in a house set up here in Massachusetts. Cool. So I'm like 40 minutes away from that exact spot right now. But
I don't know what it was with that whole era though. Like the the Toxic Avenger had that cartoon, the Toxic Crusaders. I loved that show when it came out. I was a huge fan of that show. I didn't really know the movie too much because I was too young at the time. But I mean, it was because of that I ended up growing up and watching, Toxic Avenger and loving it. But I was like, they had a lot of those like Street Sharks, like this weird nuclear waste characters and stuff. Yeah. Like
the turtles blew up with that PR guy that actually sold them finally to a plausible toy line,
right?
That went back and forth, and then the whole thing blew up because Saturday
what He-Man did,
back in the day we used to have Saturday morning cartoons. Damn, I miss those.
Yeah, me too. Man.
But all those Saturday morning cartoons and cartoons that would come on like after school on like the UHF channels. Wow, you are old. I go, yeah. Friggin' 52 this year. Jesus Christ. I don't believe my daughter just turned 13. I stopped polishing up my shotgun. And but yeah, there were all kinds of stuff like bring up another creator, Don Chen. You had the radioactive black belt hamsters.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Biker Mice from Mars,
Oh, they were great.
What was that other one? The video game Battletoads was another one of those.
Oh, I don't.
It had that same element to it.
What else do I remember? Remember Street Sharks, and then like all the toy lines from Hasbro that all had their own cartoon, like the Bionic Six. They were
was Mask Hasbro?
Mask, yeah. I think Mask was that Hasbro or Mark? It didn't matter. Hasbro eventually bought him anyhow.
Yeah, they bought pretty much everything.
Yeah, like everything. Jason the Wheel Warriors. That was actually
that one.
That was that was probably way before your time. That was on when I was in middle school.
Oh, okay.
Like in the afternoons. But that was pretty badass where they would fuse like cybernetic mechanicals with like plants.
What?
Oh yeah. Right. It was pretty rad. I remember that. Visionaries. I'm so old. I remember when G.I. Joe was just some G.I. named Joe.
Yeah, when they didn't have the show.
It was just the big 12-inch figure with the kung fu grip and the fuzzy hair, and
there you go.
But all those were made. All those Saturday morning cartoons were made to sell comic books and toys.
They did a pretty good job for a long time.
Oh yeah. Oh, we got a lot of people coming in.
Hey.
Hey, Edwin.
Hail.
Mark is the New Kids on the Block fan confirmed.
It's funny because I think it was.
Pops.
Hey, what's up?
Okay, that could be the funniest comment of the night.
It might be. I had to open my damn mouth, didn't I?
I might have to send you like some New Kids on the Block trading cards. I'm sure I can find some in like the dollar store or something.
Right. Oh man, but yeah, this image right here. This is another thing that's going to be going out with every book. This is a mini print. I'm going to be doing 5.5 by 8 inch mini prints of this. Also, as a stretch goal that we unlocked was the Preston Acevedo Amanda Lynn mini print. That's also going to be coming with the book for free. So that'll come with every book. You know, if you buy 2, you get 2 of everything. So.
Okay, so we met the big bad at the very back of this lineup.
Right.
Who else do we have here?
We've got Waylon in the middle. On the left, that's Waylon Louder. And then on the right, we have Amanda Lynn. And then at the bottom, we have Big Dick Murphy. Everybody loves that one.
So did you come up with that name by yourself, or did Sim help?
No, that was all me. That was all me. Yeah. No, it was I wanted something toxically masculine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, something that, would rub people the wrong way, the SJWs and stuff like that. I figured that would
Hey, as long as Mr. Murphy's keeping his pants on around me, I'm good.
Oh yeah, when he goes in the werewolf mode, he keeps his pants on. Don't worry.
Ooh, I like this.
Yeah, that actually, I thought that I had that updated. There's actually a new. No, I guess I didn't. There's a new cover. It's that same art, but we did it in the fashion of like Death Rides a Horse, the old John Cassavetes movie. Mm-hmm. We wanted to have like a classic, Western movie poster as the cover. So,
that's cool.
Yeah, we drew that up, complete with fake credits and everything. I'm gonna see if I can change that real quick, but yeah, it's
that's the best, because at least one person is like all over the IMDb page looking for it.
Yeah, it's it turned out really well. I'm trying to upload it now so that it'll so that we can show it, but yeah, it turned out really, really well. I'm pretty happy with it. It just got to make sure this is the right one. And as soon as it lets me, it's not going to let me. All right. Try it again. If not, then I'll be able to share my screen and show it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it ended up looking really, really good. And I thought about actually making it a poster or something that I could sell in the campaign, because I thought that people would really, really like it.
Lots of bloody action.
Yeah. All right. I guess I'm going to have to share my screen real quick.
Splice and dice.
There we go.
Hey, Rock G.
Hail. Yeah, so like I said, we wanted to do something similar to Death Rides a Horse. And, we've got the actual page art here that Passion for Drawing did. He actually drew this and did the watercolors for it too. And, we've got the credits here. The actual names here are correct, but, this is obviously an inside joke with anybody who's familiar with like B movies and stuff like that. Whenever a director didn't like a movie or was ashamed of the movie he was working on, he would take a pseudonym, and that was Alan Smithy.
Mm-hmm.
So I threw that on there. And Nessuno is Italian for nobody, because it's a book, so there's no music. But yeah, it's because Italian westerns, like the Italian spaghetti westerns and stuff like that, I thought that was kind of funny to put it in Italian as nobody.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then of course MFC, MF Comics is the name of the LLC that I have for this. And that's the little logo down there. But yeah. I think people are gonna dig it.
Yeah, I dig that. That's really rad, man.
Hell yeah, thanks, man. It took a little while, but I think it was worth it, and we're gonna have that as the cover of the book as it goes out to people. So yeah.
Very cool. And now for something completely different. Open up a sleeve. Presto. I can't do a lion roar right now, so
that's all right.
Here we are. Too many tabs open. Let me move this one. There we go. Everything in order now. So yeah, this is pretty violent.
Yeah. We wanted to do something in the line. Like I'm a big fan of Sam Raimi, and his the over the top, absurd kind of action violence and stuff like that, and the horror elements that he does. Passion for Drawing does a really good job with his fantasy. It's almost, I like to say that it's like a cross between Joe Madureira and Bernie Wrightson. He's got a lot of good detail, but it's also very, stylized. Like he has a very specific style, and I think it works really well with like a more fantasy kind of feel to it. It makes it seem a little less serious, so it's not as dismal. So I didn't want the book to be. It could have very easily tonally been something that was like really dark and something more gritty, and I didn't want that. I wanted to have more of like almost a lighter tone to the book, like to be a little bit more serious or to be a little bit more fun instead of serious.
Yeah,
but like still have that
like a B movie Western.
Kind of, yeah, exactly. Like a B. It's like The Quick and the Dead, almost. Like to say a Sam Raimi Western. So it was kind of a fun, almost arcade like. You know what I mean? Something that you can pick up and you could just kind of chew on, and it was just fun to read. You turn the page and you're just having fun. With every single panel. That's really what I wanted to do with this book, and Passion delivered, man. He's a hell of an artist. I couldn't be happier with the pages. We're almost done completely with all of the pages. I've started lettering, and we're just blowing through it. It's really close to being done, and it is a phenomenal book. It's really fun. So
the bottom part of the page that's up now, all I can think of is Raiders of the Lost Ark.
yeah. We had this idea. The original Whalen didn't actually have a lot of the some of the powers that he has now, with like the being able to scatter his, because he's like a mummy, so the skin that's on him is more like a dust and or like a mud, almost not really muddy, but he's kind of desiccated in terms of his skin and muscles and stuff. So he can throw his skin into like a dust cloud, and he sucks the moisture out of people like like those little balls that you get when you buy a pair of shoes or something like that, the desiccant balls. Yeah. So it like pulls moisture out of people because he's so dry. He dries other people out, and that's what's happening in that scene right there. Also, if you look, Amanda in the panel up above, she's stabbing her fingers through the guy's head, the back of the guy's head, and you get a little finger. Her fingers got an eye impaled on the end of it, and then the next page, you see that. You can see it on her finger there.
I got my eye on. I got your eye on me.
Yeah. So yeah, we wanted to have something that was kind of fun and people could read, and like I said, just have a good time reading. it's very easy to do something that's like like gritty and dark and brooding and stuff like that. And I wanted to do something that was a
Got a
little bit
head
more
and a
fun.
spinal column hanging off. The
Yeah.
I looked and I spotted that, and I'm like, I'm looking on the page. I go, is Predator here?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I just wanted something that was just over the top and just just horrific. And Passion did a really good job delivering that, man. He did a great job. And Eugene, the guy that's doing the colors, he worked on Magic Cop 1 and 2 and Lost Pages. He's doing the colors for this, and he did a really good job too. I mean, he took what Passion delivered on and just elevated it to another level. I mean, it's just a beautifully colored comic. You look at the clouds around Amanda there, because she has like a Nightcrawler thing kind of going on. Originally that was all black for the most part. Like that was like a black cloud and stuff. But he added some levels of purple to it, and it made it. I'm just really, really blown away by the level of
so much better than it just being all black.
Yeah. He took something that Passion did, and he just made it even better. Like something phenomenal that Passion did, and made it even more badass somehow. So.
And speaking of Magic Cop, they're supposed to be with us next Monday night.
Oh, cool! Right on. Yeah.
And I'm just running through any campaign that is still selling books on Twitter. So if you're out there, I'm coming for you. Oh, I should have waited till I pulled up my Big Dick Murphy here.
Oh man, people love that. That's got to be one of my. I think people think that that's probably the best thing that I've done is the Big Dick Murphy character. People seem to really get a kick out of that, and I'm pretty happy about that. That's it's been a lot of fun writing him, so it's good to see people reacting it.
That's gonna stick. That's gonna stick with you for years. Hey, ladies, you know who that guy is? You know what his nickname is? No, Big Dick Murphy. Really?
I just hope it doesn't end up disappointing people.
But, I've been seeing so many of these stupid comedy reels things up on Instagram. One of them, which reminds me of the name of the character. Well, not really, but in an offshoot way. This girl's walking around the supermarket, and it's just her, but she films herself in multiple roles. So her as the clerk asks her as the customer, "Can I help you? Where do you keep condoms?" Aisle 5, next in the blah, blah, blah section.
Right.
In the family planning section. Okay. And then her as the clerk goes down aisle 5 later, and her as the customer is just sitting there with a compact out. "Did you find him okay?" Goes, "Yeah." And she had asked for magnums.
Oh God.
And so, "Did you find him okay?" He goes, "Yeah." "Can I help you with anything else?" He goes, "No, I'm just waiting to see who buys them."
Oh.
I'm like, ooh, touche.
That's some pretty good comedy. That's pretty clever stuff. I like that.
It's like, I bought them. Really? They make great water balloons.
There you go.
Drop them out a window, you can take out a Volkswagen.
Yeah, right.
So is this gonna be an actual wanted poster that people will get, or is it gonna be something in the book? Or
I wanted to do that, but with the way things turned out, I'm probably not going to be able to. I'm going to incorporate them. The Big Dick Murphy trading card will have the wanted poster on the back of it, and the Waylon, the Richard trading card will have his wanted poster as well.
Okay.
But yeah, I have 3 trading cards on the campaign. It's the rotting Golem, Richard, and Big Dick Murphy are the 3. But yeah, the Rotting Golem actually doesn't have a trading card, or I'm sorry, a wanted poster. So only the 2 of them will actually have the wanted posters. But maybe on the next campaign, I'll do like a metal print or something like that with them on there, or maybe a miniature poster.
Yeah, maybe like mini posters that
Right.
are on special paper, so they look tattered.
That actually is that's a pretty cool idea. I wonder if I could do that. I wonder how I could actually pull that off. I'm gonna look into that. That'd be pretty cool. Get them rolled up or something like that with something on them. That'd be pretty cool.
Wayland's falling apart here.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people like him too. That's got to be one of the more popular characters I've seen. It's him, Richard, and Big Dick Murphy are the 3 that people seem to respond to. I love that drawing of Richard. Passion just knocked it out of the park with that, man.
Yeah, that's pretty badass.
I love that so much. That's just so cool.
It's almost like a Western mummy with the goggles there.
Yeah.
What do they call
Yeah,
that?
I'm a big fan. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Sam
steampunk.
Raimi. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Sam Raimi, and one of his movies that I really, really loved as a kid was Darkman. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, I pulled a lot of influence in terms of the way that he looks. He's actually burned like Darkman. He's burned from head to toe. Um, his character's entirely different, and the circumstances of how he came to be burned are different. But aesthetically, he has a black trench coat, black hat, bandages all over his body, um, and burned from head to toe. But yeah, you're not going to see him donning, like fake skin or anything like that movie. But yeah, he definitely has some major influences from Darkman. I'm a huge Sam Raimi fan. I think I own every single one of his movies.
Oh, this is badass.
Yeah, yeah, that's Amanda Lynn. She's one of the grave robbers. This print is going to be coming with the book, every single book.
Wow. Yeah.
That was done by Preston, and it was colored by Oliver, and they did an incredible job. He showed me the pencils for it, like the initial sketches was on. I was like, "Oh, right, yeah, that looks cool." And then he sends me the finished. I was like, "Wow, what the hell?" I was so blown away by it. It was so awesome. And he actually recommended Oliver, to do the colors. So I messaged Oliver, and he sent me this back, and it was just like I didn't realize it could get better, but somehow he made
wow.
it even better.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I was blown away. Yeah, so this is actually going to be on the back of the book as well. It's going to be the back cover of the book, and it's going to be a mini print.
And like, man, if for nothing else, people should be backing this book just to get this print. I mean, and I know it's going to look, way better than this, like in person, because this is just a scan. But damn,
right. Yeah.
I mean, I know she would just kill me, but okay.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah, she's pretty cool. She's one of my personal favorites. I'm really excited to get that out to people. Yeah, this is the logo. This was done by Nicole Sapita. She goes by the Real Das Nomo on Twitter. But yeah, she did this. It's funny. I have a funny story about the logo. I actually drew a logo for the campaign, and for the whole thing. And when I was talking to Passion one night, I was like, oh yeah, I think I've got the design done. I think I've got a pretty good design for it. And he goes, oh, okay. Well, you want to show me? I was like, yeah. So I took a picture of it and I sent it to him. And a couple of seconds went by, while it was transferring, and then he goes, oh, okay, I got it. And then it's like another 4 or 5 seconds of silence, and I was like, well, what do you think? And he goes, let me see if I can find the person who did my logo. I was like, all right, well, I didn't think it was that bad. But
yours is so good, I'm gonna get somebody that knows what they're doing.
But see, that's why I like Passion, because he'll tell me like it is. At the end of the day, this I contacted her, and she sent me a couple of stuff, a couple of images back that I liked. And then I was like, she's like, well, what else, can I add to this? And I was like, well, I thought about incorporating a skull, maybe I had one idea with zombie hands holding, like severed at the wrist, holding the logo, like gripped at the edges of the logo. I thought that would look cool. So she sent me one of those, and it looked okay. But then she sent me this, and I was like, well, that's it. Like, that's the logo. I immediately, I was like, that's it. That's the logo. Like, there couldn't be anything better than that. Like, she nailed it. So I like that quite a bit. But that's also going to come with the book is I think I'm going with a 4x5 sticker of that logo. That's going to come with the book as well.
Man, I'm going to have to buy more computers. I'm running out of room to put my stickers. The left-hand side of my tower is all taken up, so I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, mine's running out too, man. Mine's running out too. There's a lot of them. But I hope people like it. I'm a big fan of getting as much out to the people as I can. Making as much stuff that people are going to like and hold on to and really enjoy. So like that's something that I as a comic book fan also like. Every time I get stickers or mini prints or cards and stuff like that, I like to show them off. And so I try to get that to the consumer too. So I think people are going to really like the stuff that we send them.
Yeah, every time I get stuff in and swag, there's a video coming.
Right on. Yeah, so we've knocked out a lot of these stretch goals.
Yeah.
We're gonna have the soft cover. That was one of the ones that we got. That's I think Passion with his book Doom Fate, that had a soft cover. The Lost Pages both had soft covers as well. I think Magic Cop 1 and 2, I think 1 had it, and I think 2 will have it too. So yeah, we're gonna add that onto the book. And everything else, up to the Amanda Lynn art print, which apparently I haven't updated. I thought that I updated that. I'm slipping here. But we've got that. And the next stuff that we're working on is the Road to Hellhole short story, which is a short story. The book's called Welcome to Hellhole, like grave robbers welcome to Hellhole. And Road to Hellhole is a 5-page short story that I'll add to the book. That's basically something. It's a story that happened to the grave robbers as they were on their way to the town of Hellhole, and it's a pretty cool little story. So I think people would like that. But we've got about $900 to go till we hit that. So I'm gonna, once I actually start sending out the books, like once I send it to the printer, I'm gonna stop stretch goals at that point.
Oh yeah.
But so it won't, if I don't hit 8,000 by then, it won't come with the book. But hopefully it does, because I'd like to get that story out to people. So I put these stretch goals up as very optimistic.
You have a backup story for the next issue.
Exactly. Yeah, I've got a couple of them actually. All of the everything after the Amanda Lynn art print, all of that stuff, all those stretch goals are additional stories. One of them, it doesn't have anything to do with the Grave Robbers universe, but I thought it was kind of fun, so I was going to add it in just to see what people thought. Just something. But yeah, just some cool stuff to bump up the page numbers and get more comic out to people. So.
And if you don't get them up there, you're going to have to wait a short while until you can read these other 3 backup stories or be able to unlock them on the next campaign. Yeah.
Hopefully I can get them. If I don't get them on this campaign, I'd like to add it on to book 2, which, we haven't, started actually drawing out book 2 or anything like that. But,
well, you want to get book 1 out first.
Exactly. Once we get this out, we're going to start working on probably book 2. I'm not sure exactly what Passion's schedule's looking like, but we're definitely going to do a book 2. I just got to get this delivered and out to people.
Oh, yeah. So you can get Grave Robbers #1 for $18, and everything ships worldwide.
Yeah, the shipping worldwide is a little steep. I'll tell people that up front. It's a shame that it is that way, but I mean that's the cost of sending it out to overseas. I don't know why it's so expensive, but it really is.
Yeah, I know there's a way now. Critical Blast has a big thing going to get books from overseas over here at a cheaper rate to save creators and backers a good amount of money.
That's good,
because you're looking at $30 and up to to ship out for each.
It's not cheap.
Thing.
Yeah.
So he worked it out where they can get the books. Some of them are still getting the books printed there because they're like the UK size, and they won't do that over here.
Right.
So if they're doing UK size stuff over there, they get them printed over there. They fill up a box with as many books as they can. They ship it to him. He unpacks them, does all the fulfillment part for them, and with some nice little perks, gets enough bags, like shipping bags, printed up that he puts the Geminis in with artwork for the book on the other side. So as soon as it shows up on somebody's doorstep, they can look and they can get all excited because they know what's in there.
There you go, man. That's awesome.
I know there's a couple others that are doing print on demand through Mixam or some other place down in Florida, so that they're actually printed here, and then they'll get shipped out from here to save money. So
there you go.
Everything's getting worked on so we can get these books out, a little cheaper. So
that's really good. That's one of the things that I think is just the biggest drawback in some people's cases is looking at a book and saying, okay, I can throw down on this and then go and receive shipping. And it's like, wow, I didn't think it was going to be that much, and then not being able to do it.
Yeah, we'll walk into a comic shop and we'll bitch. We don't want to pay $8 to $12 for a new Marvel or DC book.
Right.
And then we'll go hop on Indiegogo and Kickstarter and pay $25 for an indie book.
Right.
And we don't have any qualms doing that because we're not just getting the book, we're getting a bunch of swag with it. At the very least, we're getting in a good majority of cases, we're getting another bookmark.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse than like reading a trade and falling asleep on the trade, and then you drop the trade, on the side of your chair, on the side of your bed, and then you pick it up and you go, oh, I forgot where I was, and you got to go back and read it all over again.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've done that. That's one of the things that I like about the. I don't know if you read the Berserk stuff, but the Berserk hardcover deluxe edition has a little one of those attached bookmarks, the ribbon,
the ribbons. Yeah,
yeah. So that's something that's come in handy a few times. I'll catch myself nodding off once or twice, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess it's time to just put this down and close the book and start again tomorrow.
My buddy Nick has all of those. He quit comics altogether and went like 100% manga.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, he also went out and probably spent about $30,000 on manga too.
Oh wow. Yeah, I haven't bought. I bought a lot. I buy a lot of Indiegogo stuff. I probably backed, I think, like something like 90 something campaigns. But in terms of the actual like big two, I don't think I've bought like a Marvel book, like a brand new, like an actual recently released one, because I've bought back issues. I'm a big fan of Midnight Suns. I like the Midnight Sun story in the early 90s. Yeah. So I've been picking those up slowly over time, trying to grab them when I can. But man, I go into my local comic book shops and I see the stuff they've got on the walls. I'll take that back. I bought the Last Ronin, the Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah.
I got
issue 1 of that. Now I need 2 and 3. And
yeah, I gotta get those two.
The one I got was like third printing. Like, well, it's a third printing. I'm like, I know, and I don't care. I just want to read the damn thing.
Yeah.
I go, and I want to read it. I want to read it in a book, not on my screen. So,
yeah, right. I was lucky enough to be able to grab one, first print, like a first edition.
Oh.
My local comic book store had one put away for me. So I was lucky with that. I was lucky. So I didn't ask them to do that. They just had it. And I happened to walk in and, I was looking at some of the third printings that they had. And they were like, we've got one of these behind the counter for you, right? I was like, really? He's like, yeah. And he pulled it out. And I was like, oh, my God. Because some of those things are running like $180 I was seeing on eBay.
Oh, yeah. And there's like 3,000 variant covers.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sick of that.
Yeah. And then you go, you're like, oh man, do they have to make so many variant covers? What are you gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna go over to Kickstarter. See if I see any variant covers I like. What? I like to have, maybe with an established title, like if somebody's on like their third or fourth issue in a series or in an arc, and they're like, and they're having like, you got a choice of like 3 covers, I'm cool with that. Or if the creator of the series is just a super hot, well-known artist, like say Monty Moore, you just know you're gonna get a billion variant covers,
right?
And I'm like, I looked at all of them and I go, outside of the price, which was and the cover that I wanted was actually one I got to just pick from like a regular book. I go, well, that cover right there is beautiful. I love it, and it is mine.
There you go, man.
And it was. So you got this.
Hell yeah.
What made you put up a tier for getting 2 books for $35?
A lot of people told me that they like getting books. They like getting 2 books, one to read and one to like keep wrapped, not take it out of the package or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So I decided, what the hell, I'll throw a 2-book tier on there, and if people like it, they can back it. If not, then I just won't do that for book 2. But I got a decent amount of people who have bought it, so I'll probably keep it up for the next campaign.
Yeah, you got like over 2 dozen people. which would ring true to people that want one copy to read and want one copy to send out to get slabbed.
Right.
I've
seen a lot of people buying it for, like, if they're buying it for a sibling, or like I've actually done that with Michael Beacon, with his book Seven Legions. I picked up 2 copies of that, for one for me, one for my brother. And so I've just, I've seen people like to collect, people like to put them in CGCs. I've seen some people CGC some books recently. So I don't think anybody's going to do that with mine, but if they want the option, that's their prerogative.
Oh, yeah.
If they want to keep it in the case and keep it mint, that's fine. At the end of the day, it's your book. If you want to buy 2, you can buy 2, and if you won't, I'll give you as many options. If you want as many books as I can give you, I will give you as many books as
I will be happy to sell you 100 copies of this book.
Exactly.
And I will give you a great price.
A very reduced price.
But we're going to need that cash up front, though.
Exactly.
Well, I could see that 2-tier, that 2-book tier right off the bat would be something that Sugar Chris would buy, because one would be for him and one would be for Sim.
Oh, yeah.
One for him and one for Sim. Sounds like something Gollum would say.
Yeah.
Because they're in Canada, so instead of paying like shipping to his house and shipping to that house, he gets it shipped to his house, and then he ships something in country, and it's only a few bucks, opposed to like $25 shipping.
Oh, there you go. I don't think he had to worry about that, because Sim was actually one of the first people to back the book. I opened up on Chris's channel that I did my opening stream with Chris, and I had a friend of mine who wanted to be the first backer, a friend of mine named Kelly, and she was really excited. She wanted to be a number 1 backer, and Sim beat her to the punch. Like, he beat her by a millisecond, and she looks and she sees number 2, so she texts me and she's like, "Who the hell got it? Like, who got number 1?" And I was like, "Oh, it's a friend of mine named Sim." And she goes, "Who the hell is Sim?" Because she never met him. So now it's a joke. Anytime we talk about it, me and Sim, he always says, "Who the hell is Sim?" So yeah, that's kind of a fun little joke that he and I tell.
Then you have to have her listening to a stream that you're on with Sim, and so Sim can just be with Sim's French Canadian accent, he sounds cocky all the time anyhow. He's not, but he's, dude, you sound that way, okay?
He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Sim's a
good friend of mine. But I get what you're saying.
So, just so he can, quote from that movie, so you can say, "Who does number 2 work for?"
I don't think I've ever heard Sim say that. But
I don't think you could say it like they did in the movie.
I think we watched Austin Powers. I gotta suggest, because we do the watch along stream on Sundays. Yeah. I gotta see if I can get us to do like Spy Who Shagged Me as a like a sequel night, and see if I can get him to say that when when we're on. So that'd be pretty funny.
Number 2 back for. So tell me about the pick a character head sketch tier. Is it any character or any character from the book?
Well, originally it was going to be any character from the book, but people seem to like the idea of any character. So I think we're kind of just playing it by ear. I'm going to send out an email to everybody who backed the tier, and if you want somebody from the book, that'd be preferable. But we're open to as long as it's not something like outrageous, like or over the top. I don't think Passion's gonna have a problem drawing it. So
Yeah.
Like if you'd like a like a Renaissance era drawing of some like I'm trying to think of something fancy like Faust from Johannes von Goethe, something like that, something just ridiculous that thrown out there it's going to be probably a no. But if you're one like Spawn or something like that, I don't think he's going to say no. So
yeah. So this tier, $60 for that's just for the head sketch.
Right, and there's no shipping on that either. So if you want a head sketch, you can get that with no shipping. Also, you can get if you get a book, you can get the head sketch as an add-on with no shipping. So you don't get additional, like you don't have to pay additional shipping to get a head sketch with it. It's the same with the pages, the original art pages that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Those are, there's no shipping on those at all. So if you want an original art page, that's totally free shipping.
Retailer pack. Five copies, $75. And you've got 2 claimed.
Yep. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I've never had my own comic in a comic book shop on a rack, so that's a pretty cool. That's a pretty cool feeling. I hope they sell well for people.
Your own comic?
That is because I've never had my own comic.
Well,
that's correct. But it's pretty cool. It's really cool, and it's an honor to have those people put my books on the walls of their store, and I hope they sell well. I really do. Those are going to come with all of the additional stuff too, like the prints and the trading cards.
Mm-hmm.
So, I hope they sell well for those people. I really, really hope so.
And are they 2 different stores, or is it one store just by 2?
2 different stores. 2 different stores. I won't say which ones because I don't know if they want anonymity or because they didn't use the store name. It's just 2 different names that were on it.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Original page art.
Yeah, we've sold 3 of those out of the 6 originals, or the 6 ones that we had originally. So we've got a couple left, and if you back that, it's not going to be like, talking, like they're not going to be sitting around and like, sipping a coffee or something like that. They're going to be art pages, or they're going to be like a reveal, or something big. It's not going to be something boring. I mean, and we'll email you with a list and pictures, like images of the actual pages, and it's going to be first come first serve. So when we send out that email, I'll send out an update, and I'll put a message on Twitter letting people know that I'm going to be sending out the email, and then people can go and they can look at their they can look at which page they'd like, pick it back, and send back an email with the letting me know. And like I said, first come first serve. So
it'll be a race to the finish if like 3 people all select this, and you send out all the emails the same day, and they get them at the same time. They're going to be like fighting me, like, but I wanted that one.
Yeah, battling over each other to get it. No, they're going to be all really cool pages. I don't think anybody will walk away unsatisfied. And if they do, we'll work something out, because I don't want anybody to be walking away with a piece of art they don't like. So.
And we're sorry, boys, girls, and others masquerading as humans. The big dick has already sold out and left the building.
But there will be more coming. Well, I think I've got 2 more big dick sketch cards coming. At least 2 more. I think Sim's going to do 1. Passion's got 2 that he's done. And I think he's got 2. I'd have to double check.
Fret not. There's more big dick on the way.
More big dick is on the way. Exactly.
So this podcast will have the letter E next to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I could definitely see that happening.
A little
for everyone.
But these originals sold out.
Yes. Yeah, those are the Preston Acevedo sketch cards. They were really awesome, and the lucky backers who got those are going to be really happy when they get them because they are really, really good. And they're oversized, too. They're not, they're not just like trading card size. They're like a 4x5. Like, they're pretty solid.
Oh, like postcard size, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's like regular trading card size. Then it goes up to like postcard size, and then it goes up to like 6x9 usually.
Right. Yeah, they're pretty solid. So people are gonna get those, and probably I'd like to see them send pictures. Like put out a picture on Twitter or something like that with your trading card, your books, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I always love doing that myself.
Have somebody take their picture and be like, I just want everybody to see my big dick Murphy in my hand.
Love to show everybody my big dick Murphy. It's it's pretty good size. So
well, you don't want to brag about it if it's not.
Well, yeah, if it's a little big dick, then it's not really a big dick.
Why did you think that was a big dick Murphy? Well, I got to borrow the Hubble telescope yesterday, and I looked at it, and it was huge.
It was huge. Oh, man.
Hey, there's Sim.
There he is. See, Sim's he's like Beetlejuice. You say his name 3 times, he'll show up.
Yeah, we said your name like way more than 3 times already.
Yeah, say it like 6 times. He's Canadian. But yeah, he's done some great work on this campaign. He's got, the trading card, the mini print, both fantastic pieces of work. I'm really proud to have his work on my campaign.
Yeah, he's like Sagwa Fair. He's everywhere. He was co-hosting Alejandro's stream this afternoon.
Oh yeah.
And working on stuff for his campaign and somebody else's, and
hell yeah, Navverse looks really good. He's putting out some really, really awesome stuff with that book. I'm really excited to get that.
Oh yeah, I love what Scotsman's doing with the colors on.
Oh yeah.
It's so good. Beautiful
work. Really beautiful work.
So when you're pulling that out, the campaign, not as Big Dick Murphy.
Right.
And it's like the end of June. I go, oh good, I still have a little bit of time. Maybe I can sell some more mainstream comics so I can buy some more indie stuff.
There you go. No, you're welcome, dude. Thanks for doing such a badass job and being a phenomenal artist.
Sugar would be here, but he's getting sized up for that red dress.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
He's got to look his best.
Pay O'Reilly just put a cloth in front of him and asked him if it smelled, does this smell like chloroform? He fell on the ground reaching for one of his rifles, and he's gonna wake up in a red dress with like whipped cream on and a cherry on his head or something. I'm terrible, but I'm good at terrible. I do that really good.
Yeah, there you go, man. Everybody's got to find a nice little spot.
My big
that works, man.
Coming soon.
There you go, man. There you go.
But yeah, this looks awesome, dude.
Thank you. Yeah. We've worked pretty hard on it, and I think when people start getting this book and they start reading reading through the pages and stuff, they're going to be really, really happy. It's a fun book. It's over the top. It's a lot of gore. So if you like gore, you're gonna like this book. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a kick-ass read. I think people are gonna really, really pay. They're gonna love it when they get to the end. So,
jokes aside, we hope all the colors will be done by the end of the month and going to print ASAP.
Hell yeah, man. Can't wait to get it. I'm it's some really, really good stuff in that book. Can't wait to read it.
Yeah, even though this is the big bad in your book, I think when Sim was working on this, it was just him thinking, I will just draw the heads on Twitter who have made me less than happy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But he goes, well, I better stop there. The page is coming to an end.
Yeah, yeah. Running out of space for heads.
Running out of space. You can only drag so many heads.
Yeah, it's sand. It gets heavy. Of course, as they rot, they get lighter. So
Yeah. He walks into town. What are you doing here? Oh, just getting a little head.
yeah, there you go, man. There you go.
There is skullfuckery afoot and grave robbers.
Oh man.
Free sketch card if you can ID all of them. Just kidding. He's got too much work right now.
Yeah. He's putting out some good stuff, man. It's good to see him working on as many books as he is. He's a hell of an artist, hell of a hard-working artist.
Yeah, he cranks stuff out like in no time.
Yeah, dude.
So it's like, how long are you planning on keeping this up on demand?
It'll be in demand for quite a while. What we're gonna do is hopefully we'll be done within the next probably the next week or two. We should be shipping this off to the printer. So long as everything goes right and nothing goes wrong, that's kind of what we're aiming for. And once we get that back, we'll start sending them out and everything like that. Hopefully before I'm hoping for August, maybe late August. It really kind of depends, just like I said, on circumstances. But I'm not going to actually start the next campaign probably until the spring of next year. So I'll probably leave this open until I sell out of the books. If not, then I'll stop before I launch the next book. I'll close it out, and then whatever's left over, I'll put on the campaign as like a 2-pack. You can get 1 and 2. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's always good to have. To have enough to to do a catch up tier.
Right.
Because
right.
There's so many great indie books out there. Even if you wanted to, there's no way you can back them all.
Right. And at the end of the day, some people aren't going to see this. They're not going to see this campaign. Because I'm not that. I'm not Ethan. I'm not like Malin. I'm not getting a ton of. Man, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I'd actually. I wanted to get Sim to actually draw the Red Road to Hellhole, so he might be a little self-serving there, but he'd do a great job if he did it. So yeah, I'm totally with him. Let's get this to 8.
He's probably thinking now, oh wait, I have to do that too. Well, slow your roll.
I don't know if he's got time to do it, but I think he'd do a hell of a job. So.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, I the idea basically is to get this out as quick as I can. And
it'd definitely be cool to be able to hit that 8K mark. And extend them and then send out an update to all the backers. We just hit 8K. There's going to be a slight delay in you getting your books because we're adding another 5-page story to the end.
Right. Which would be awesome.
He's down.
Hell yeah, dude. Awesome.
You know, be co-hosting a stream. So what are you working on? My big dick, Murphy.
Yeah, just slowly add in the Murphy, just cough it out like Murphy.
You
but
named your junk Murphy? Yeah, like RoboCop.
there you go. But yeah, like I said, I just at the end of the day, I don't have the name recognition that some of the bigger creators have. So there's not going to be as much attention that's played to it. But I hope that as things go along, people pay more and more attention, and I'll grow a bigger audience as it goes. But the more surplus that I have,
you just getting started. This is your first book.
Yeah.
You've had a great turnout.
I'm not complaining, man. Absolutely.
There's people that I talk to on a regular basis on the show that would love to be able to hit the 148, 150 backers, because their average backing count is like 100 to 125.
Yeah.
Working on a big dick action galore. Oh, good Lord. Man, oh
man. But yeah,
I just love this image. Is just friggin' amazing.
Yeah, I was pretty blown away by that. It was pretty amazing. I don't know. I had pretty high expectations because I've seen some of Preston's work. He's done some really good job. He's run some really good pieces. Done a great job on a lot of campaigns. But yeah, when I saw this, my jaw dropped. I was yeah, he did he killed it. Absolutely killed it.
And Samoa Crayola colored this.
Yeah.
Otherwise known as Oliver from 656 Comics.
Some people know him as that. Some people.
The dude with the sunglasses.
Shades Murphy. He did a great job.
Murphy. But this is great. What's the page count on the book right now?
36.
36 pages. That's a nice chunky book. That's wow. That's like 2 entire Marvel comics.
Yeah, if you take out all the ads, it's probably more like 3 or 4.
Yeah, pretty close. I think I still think they keep around 20, at least a 20-page story count.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, people don't have the the know-how to read that many pages. Really?
You look at manga, man, and they're putting out 50-page books, and people are buying those up like crazy.
Oh yeah, Marvel is so pissed.
Oh yeah, well look at Gary Conway, man.
Yeah. Oh God, Jerry.
He's got to be the saltiest dude in comics.
You just embarrassed yourself. That's the one. I thought he was the one with the goatee. Yeah, it's Jerry, what happened to you? It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's gotten silly, man. It really has. I don't know. I sent out a tweet today saying something like it's like watching somebody that's being choked get choked by somebody else. Well, that's not what I said. I said it's like somebody choking someone already choking. Something along those lines. I thought I was being clever, and now that I'm trying to repeat it, I'm not feeling so clever. But the idea basically is that it's just like they're losing. They're losing the manga, and he was doubling down.
They only have 12 pages of story now when they're 24-page flippies.
There you go, man. They're killing themselves.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Well, that the report came out for April, and it, every month it shows, obviously trades and graphic novels are, the majority of the market. They're like, 68 to 75% of the market. Yeah, your 80-page books are the equivalent of a full run. Also, part of that is they usually fire the people working on the books and then cancel them. So they only get a couple of issues out.
Yeah.
And
then they reboot them with somebody else, thinking that somehow it's going to make it better.
Like the only Marvel book I've bought like in like the last 2 years has been Immortal Hulk.
I heard that was good, but I never mustered up the interest to be able to actually put money on it.
I'm a huge Hulk fan, so I bought it and then got pissed off because I am 100% not a fan of Donny Cates.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. He seems to have this problem. With Immortal Hulk, he didn't do it so much, it looked like, but it seems like he has this thing where he's like, okay, I've got this new character, and it's like the devil, but in space.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically his. That's what he writes.
It's the like I had my first really big breakout, and here is the formula for how that worked, and I'm going to apply this to everything I ever do for the rest of my life.
Exactly. That's it. It's just like, all right, stay with me. This is something new. The devil, but on another planet. So it's different. It's different now. Because he's not in space. He's on a planet. I'm just like, what the hell's wrong with you, Donnie? Just go away. Like the whole Venom thing, it was like, oh, okay. So it's like the devil's crawl or cull or whatever he called him. I don't know. I've never been a fan of it. I liked Cosmic Ghost Rider when it came out. I thought that looked really cool. I didn't buy it, but I thought it looked cool.
I like the idea of Cosmic Ghost Rider until all the plebes and sheep went so apeshit for it that they were paying $20 and $30 for second and third prints.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, I don't get the whole Cosmic Ghost Rider thing. And then it comes out that, well, actually, the Cosmic Ghost Rider isn't Ghost Rider at all. The Cosmic Ghost Rider is the Punisher. I wanted to reach through my computer screen and bitch slap the fuck out of Donny Cates. It's not the first time. Oh, hold on. Wait for it. I'm going to let Thor, with one strike of his hammer, kill Galactus.
Because that makes sense.
And I'm like, really? Really?
Yeah, that's Donny Cates, man. He seems to want to be he wants to be like it's almost like he wants to be like a Frank Miller, but like on a cosmic scale with like Lovecraft, and stuff.
Well, on the scale of working writers in the mainstream right now, Donny Cates so desperately wants to be Jeff Lemire.
Yeah, you're probably right about that too.
Because 9 out of 10 of Jeff's books are phenomenal, and he's releasing like 6 or 7 books a month, all from different friggin' publishers.
Yeah.
And I've responded to Donnie on his own Twitter, usually very snarkily and followed by the hashtag I hates the Cates. And I have typed that in so many times that if I type in hashtag IH, it just automatically brings it up and puts it on my phone. I'm like, oh, this is great. This is great. And he came back at me one day about the whole Venom thing. He goes, have you even read this? I go, I tried. I really did. But I decided instead that I'm going to contact those kids that you hated for waiting and downloading all your stuff for free off the torrent. And I'll wait till they get them all, and then maybe I'll sit down and read them.
I bet he blocked you after that. Yeah, that dude is man. There are a few guys. He's just a whiny guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's way in his own head. He is way more talented than he actually is, and that's
Yeah, but aren't we all?
well, that's fair. That's fair. But he has this thing. It's just like Bendis. He has this idea that he's like this prolific writer, and they're just not. The guys like Frank Miller, they weren't trying to go out there and be the best. Frank Miller was going out there and he was writing stories that he wanted to tell. He wasn't trying to be the most badass on the block. He just put out really, really badass books. Batman Year One, those 4 comics are some of my favorite Batman comics ever written. Dark Knight Returns, his Daredevil stuff, even his second run on Daredevil was very good.
Oh yeah, the one with Nuke.
Right.
Yeah.
They have some phenomenal stories that they've printed of Frank Miller's, and he still does. Well, to be fair, I didn't read Superman Year One, so I don't know. But he's still in the 90s doing really good stuff.
His Black Label Superman.
I didn't read it.
You don't want to.
Yeah, that's kind of in the consensus. I read some of his Xerxes stuff. It didn't hold my attention. It wasn't bad, but it just wasn't nearly as good as like 300.
Let me just say that his Superman story is outshone by the new Superman show on the CW. Wow, that bad, yeah.
By the way,
we got a 200-page plus Red Label Indie Comic Showcase digital comic preview comic coming soon. Wow,
that's true.
I've never seen a sentence with comic said that many times.
You can actually see a 5 page...
of course, minus any sentence my ex-wife said on our honeymoon night. But,
okay. Well, yeah. But you can actually get a 5-page preview of Grave Robbers in that as well.
Oh, cool.
So yeah. If you pick that up, which you totally should, because there's a ton of great creators in that book. You'll get a 5-page.
Sim was talking about that. He was talking about it on Sugar Show, and he talked about it a little bit on when I had him on this one, and
okay.
Yeah, I was like, it's gonna be like a diamond catalog for indie books,
which is just cool as hell.
Yeah,
I think it's awesome that he's doing that. I'm really grateful for him having put Grave Robbers in it. It's really cool. It's going to be, just that 200 pages alone, is just awesome by itself. But just the amount of creators in it, it's going to be a great book. So if you can get your hands on it, definitely check that out.
Yeah, and and
it's digital, so it's not like you have to wait for shipping. So
yeah, it's digital, so that there's no printing involved.
Right.
Which is good, because some plebe like Comic Tom 101 would buy the digital one and would buy the physical one and tell everybody watching his shows that this is the first appearance of 75 different indie characters. It's a gold mine. Buy it now and get it. You might win a 9.8 graded dog. Now just give me $50 a month plus tax.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I wish I had a following where I could, just unload all my filler books from series that I don't want or collect any longer.
I have so many amazing Spider-Man copies. Like, just from I have a collection from, I think, a couple of maybe a year or two before Civil War, and then until I think right after Dark Reign. I have all of those amazing Spider-Man books, and they were putting them out, two a month, and there are so many useless books. In between that, man,
I collected
there's some gold
Spider-Man. from the time I was a little kid, and while I used to read the strips in the paper and get all excited on Sunday because it's in color. All three panels.
Yeah, all three panels.
I'm like, but yeah, it was still cool.
Yeah, man.
And I think when they ended that original run at 700, should have been like, okay, there's the death knell. Any second now, we're gonna hear the bell toll 10 times, and that's it. And they're just gonna write fluff and like recycle stories. And I'm like, oh great. And speaking of recycled stories, Marvel recycles everything. So Quicksilver is dead, but now he's back because he's Kraven.
There you go.
I'm like, are you a movie company or a porn company?
Well,
because I understand that. See, I will put it all digital comic platform for 99 cents with max profit to the platform for max advertisement.
There you go, man. We need to get as many eyes on the books as we can.
And the best thing, Sin, the best thing about that is I can buy a copy, save it to my desktop, and just go through that, and it'll be okay. Had oh no, not yet. Okay, hit them up. Boom, 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 and just keep going. Be like, oh. So yeah, this is. I mean, I just keep staying on this image because that's the image that sold me right there.
Hell yeah, man.
Like I like the other stuff, but I'm like this right here. I'm like, I can see this like. Do you have a planned out amount of issues for like the first arc?
Yeah, it's going to be 5 issues.
I can see this as the cover on the trade, but UV highlighted and embossed.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool, actually. I was actually thinking I was going to do a trade for the... I was going to do the 5th comic for the people who just want the comic. And I was going to do 2 trades. I was going to do a paperback and I was going to do a hardback. Now, granted, this is all stuff that's planned, far into the future. And it's basically, if it gets, it's a whole lot of ifs in between now and then. So, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. But, doing like a paperback, but also doing a hardback that's like leather, but it has a branding of the grave robber's skull. So it's like a cattle brand.
Oh yeah.
I thought that would look really, really cool, and just having like a cattle brand, and it was just plain except for that one cattle brand on both sides, and then grave robbers embossed on the spine.
Yeah, if I think about something that would look cool with a certain image, I'll always throw the pitch for it. The problem with it is anything that I think of is usually hella expensive. It's like,
yeah, I don't know how. I'm going through Mix'em to get this printed, and I don't know if they.
Oh, they're good. I don't. There's a bunch of stuff they don't do.
Yeah.
Here we go. I would say the black cover on the trade with the synop and thumbs up comments.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, I know Mix'em does a lot of great stuff, but there's a few things that they're just not equipped to do.
Yeah.
So some of the things you might have to like shop around on, but that's in the future. We'll have flying cars, and our technology will be so advanced the airlines will lose our luggage ahead of time.
There you go. Yeah. They'll lose it, but by the time we get there, they'll have found it.
Well, they'll actually find it just in time to ship it, and then UPS will lose it. and
I
a
see.
week later it'll show up on your doorstep.
Okay.
So, well, hopefully with the alcohol you smuggled out of that country.
Yeah, in the suntan lotion
You know,
bottles.
but this is great. The book looks awesome.
Thank you.
It's a great price for 36 pages, unless we can hit that 8K.
Yeah, man.
If you can hit that 8K, then it's going to be closer to 40 pages, which will be very nice. So then you'll only have 2 of those extra stories, and I'm sure there's a lot more where that came from anyhow. But
oh yeah. I've got a lot of stories that I've written. I've got a lot of side stories that I've written too, and I'd like to go pretty far with these characters. I've got pretty good amount of scripts. I've already gotten the first 5 scripts written, and I have part of the second story that I was gonna do with them is called El Paso Sucks, and
no, you got a point there.
Yeah. But yeah, it's it's a story about them getting trapped in El Paso with vampires. So, it's going to be that kind of a story, and it's going to be pretty fun. But the idea is that it's going to be a couple of issues, and then I've got another one with like a Friday the 13th vibe, but it's like a conquistador. Like there's a set of twins from Mexico, and they're being chased by like a conquistador Jason kind of thing, or Michael Myers, something along those lines for like the third. And then there's a couple other ones, but the thing is that they're all going to be connected and the characters and stuff like that. But I'd like to go pretty far because I have a lot of really cool ideas that I think people will love. There's one character that you'll see in this book that you'll see in book 2, book 3, book 4, and all the way down, who's going to pop up in another storyline several issues down the road. I like to plant little Easter eggs that, come to fruition later on in the story. Even if it's not this specific story, it'll come to fruition later. So.
Very cool.
Yeah, I like doing stuff like that.
Like I said earlier, it's about time some people started bringing back, Western comics, even with a twist.
Yeah, I always loved Westerns growing up.
The same old thing. I mean, I love horror comics, but I don't want to read, something loosely based around, The Walking Dead or anything like that. I want something new and fresh.
Right.
And this is definitely that. And
thank you. I really appreciate that, man.
It's
I'm a huge fan of Westerns. I love horror movies. I always have. That's probably one of my more favorite things in the world is a good horror film.
Mm-hmm.
But growing up with my dad, my grandpa, watching all those Italian spaghetti westerns and John Wayne movies and stuff like that.
I still watch.
They were a huge influence on me growing up, and the kind of characters I don't know what it is about Clint Eastwood, but that dude was always such a badass, and he's still a badass in his 90s. And that's something that
I think Clint has been a miserable old prick since he was 20 years old.
Yeah, probably. But that's the thing, though, is that that kind of energy, that kind of badass attitude is just something you don't see in anything now. And Big Dick is kind of a hybrid between him and John Wayne, a little bit of Wild Bill Hickok, stuff like that. You kind of see those influences in him, but I wanted to put somebody that was like that, because we just don't, there's a lot of characters that are like gruff and stoic, but there was something else that was just along with Clint Eastwood, something else that was along with John Wayne that just made them icons. They weren't just angry, quiet guy. They were just like John Wayne actually was never quiet. He was actually a really talkative guy. They there's just something badass about that guy. You know, the Duke was just one of those guys who just, I don't know, irreplaceable. You know,
Yeah.
irreplaceable.
Duke would come in and whoop your ass and nail your girlfriend in a pile of hay in front of you, and then just steal your horse and leave town or something.
I read a story that guy drank himself into a stupor one night. Like he drank bottles and bottles of liquor, like literally bottles of liquor, like not just like, a little, like a half a bottle or, a few shots. Like this dude pounded, whiskey and, all kinds of different shit, and then passed out, woke up the next day and did like a whole action scene. Like it was nothing. Like the dude had to have been hungover. Like he just got up and he was like, well, I guess this is what I'm doing. And he just did it. Like I couldn't imagine.
Oh, you're still talking about John Wayne. I thought you were talking about me.
Oh, no.
I DJ'd in nightclubs for 30 years. AKA.
Oh, okay.
Clubs.
Sorry, I think my internet might have cut in for a second. Sorry about that.
And I'd say for like the first 17 years of that, I wasn't sober a single day.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
So it made it more fun for a while.
Yeah, I bet.
But,
I bet they were shitty mornings.
There were mornings?
Oh, never mind then.
Oh, yeah.
It's not.
Crawl into the kitchen, grab whatever's left, and here are the dog, and here we go.
There you go, man. There you go.
I used
to
live in one apartment, and there was a sergeant that was always on traffic detail across the street from my house because it was like a really busy, hectic area. And I would go out with this huge case of CDs in one hand and a red Solo cup in the other filled with whiskey. And he'd wave at me and go, "How you doing?" "Pretty good." Get in my car. I'd peel out and go up around the corner. He wouldn't say anything.
Well, there you go, man.
And then he retired, and I was in for a rude awakening one day. Could have used the Duke that day.
There you go, man. There you go.
So this is great. I hope it hits that. I hope it hits that 8K.
Yeah, I'd love that. I'd love to see.
I hope even more that I can sell a bunch more toys and comics, so I can slap some cash on this, and I got to slap some cash on Sim's project before it closes out too.
Hell yeah, I appreciate that, man. Really, I do.
Yeah. Oh, I love Westerns. I have a friend of mine's a bee artist on cowboys and kaijus.
Oh, I saw that the other day. I think I was going through Twitter and I think I saw a post for that.
Yeah, they actually were picked up by I think Second Sight.
Oh, that's cool.
So this Kickstarter book is actually going to be like a 0 issue, but it's the first appearance of everybody. And then next year they have like a 12 issue run scheduled through Second Sight. And if it goes over big, they will extend that, of course.
Right on.
If it sells, we need more.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, this is a great project.
Thanks.
You have a much better logo now than the one you sent in, apparently.
Yes.
And
yes, that's very true. It's funny. I looked back actually after I got the new logo. I was like, well, that's it. But then I was like, all right, well, let's see if it was really that bad. And I looked at it, and then I looked back up at the new logo, and I was like, all right, yeah, it was that bad. It was that bad.
I gotta stick to rating.
Yep, I'm not an artist. Not an artist.
it would help out a lot. It would help out a lot if Tom King would quit, trying to do remarks on people's books and ruining them.
Yeah, well, let's hope Tom King can keep himself alive for the next couple of years. That I think is the most optimistic thing that we could think of, is that he just doesn't kill himself at some point.
Yeah, one of those things.
That guy's got some problems.
Oh yeah, for sure. But Mark, I want to thank you for hanging out and talking about grave robbers.
Well, thanks for having me on, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Showing a whole bunch of cool stuff. I'm going to download this and pop it up on my podcast network at ageradio.org, and it'll be available to download anywhere you get your podcasts.
Sounds good.
So until next time, I'll be back tomorrow night at 9 with Sean Howe for the Seanzilla Art Show. And Thursday, OK Boomer, the podcast, Thomas and I are going to be going over Avengers 181, the first appearance of Scott Lang. And Creators Outlet will return Friday night with Frank Forte and his new Kickstarter. Make sure you back this Grave Robbers book, and for God's sake, share it out any place you get social with your media. We're going to get more eyes on this and hit that 8K because Sim wants to draw another story.
Absolutely.
He never gets enough big dick.